What's up, everyone? This is the Panda Photographer here live in San Jose, California, on the campus on San Jose University, and I want to talk about the lens of the Tamron, the SP 90mm micro lens that I have purchased on my own money. By the way, this is not a sponsored video with Tamron or anything like that. I purchased this with my own money for, I think at the time it was $650 US, and this is my 10-month long review. So I normally do videos that consistently with the gear that I have. I normally do like update videos on gear, so I want to do another update video on this particular micro lens, so you guys have a good idea what to expect from this lens. Now, I am not a professional photographer. I'm an enthusiast photographer that's been shooting since analog days. So with that said, I have done a number of things with this lens. This is a versatile lens, by the way. This lens shoots video, micro, landscape. I even did street photography with it. I shoot portraits with it. I have done many things with this lens, time-lapse videos with it, and more. So this is a very versatile lens, and for the price and for the build quality that Tamron provides with this lens for the Sony A mount. So if you are a Sony A mount user and you're thinking about buying E mount lenses, and if you have A mount lenses and you want to get rid of them, don't get rid of them quite yet. Sony makes an adapter that you can mount on A mount to E mount, and if you do buy that adapter and you do buy E mount body, you can absolutely take full advantage of this lens, especially if you're using the adapter that Sony provides, which is the A mount to E mount, which is the LEA4 adapter. If you buy that adapter, you absolutely get the best out of this 90mm micro lens. Now, if you're using it on a crop sensor, you're going to have to multiply it by 90 times 1.5, gives you an equivalent of 135. So keep that in mind. Not only that, this lens on my Sony 877 body, when I'm shooting at 135mm, I found the backgrounds and the bokeh, it's like buttery smooth, very compressed, but sometimes at other aperture stops, I found it to be a little bit busy, not too much, but I want to talk about build quality. Now, I know this is the latest of the 90mm micro lens. Now, they do make it from Nikon, I believe, and Canon. So, and this one is for the Sony. This one is for the Sony A mount. I'm looking at the time, guys. So this one does not have the USD functions on here, because Sony on the A mount system has a steady shot. In my personal opinion, as an A mount user for Sony, I found that the steady shot doesn't work quite often. So Sony, if you're watching this, you need to actually fix it, because there's a problem with it. I noticed, and I did a comparison video about the problem, and the problem was that when I'm using steady shot, it's trying to compensate for shake when I'm not moving the camera when it's on a tripod. It's constantly trying to compensate. When I turn it off, I get much sharper images. So take this with a grain of salt, everyone. You may have a different experience. You may have a different camera that doesn't have this issue, but for me, I have this issue. So I just turned it off. So, but I would have liked if Tamron would have actually provided us with that feature, and so we can actually have the option to turn off the steady shot and use the USD compensation vibration controls on the lens. But with that said, let's talk about the lens hood. The lens hood is built like a tank and really well designed. I like it, but there's a flaw to this, okay? I really would have appreciated if Tamron gave me a little bit more space inside the lens hood, so I can actually mount on a polarizer filter or ND filter when I'm shooting models or portraits. Because when I shoot portraits, and let me tell you why I want to use a polarizer, especially if I'm using natural light, I like the skins to be a little bit more natural and a little bit more soft when using the polarizers, and it gets rid of that unwanted shine off the skin. So the polarizer does help when shooting in certain situations and natural light. I don't recommend it and high-speed sync. You can get away with it in some cases, but I really don't recommend it. But with that said, I do like the build quality on this lens, by the way, and you can read it for yourself right there. That this is the really good. It looks like a Sigma body design, but it's not. It's Tamron's new design for all their lenses right now, and I really like this tone, the look. This gives me the idea that Tamron is actually looking into making the customer feel like this is a premium quality lens, and to me this looks premium quality, by the way, and I like the design of how it looks. So if you guys take a look at it, looks very nice. I do like the focus throw on here. It's very smooth and accurate. I don't find any problems with autofocusing, especially using eye detection or face detection on my Sony bodies, but I do find it a little bit troublesome that when I am trying to focus on other objects, that sometimes it would hunt. Not as much as the Sony FE 90mm micro lens, by the way, which is probably my sharpest micro lens ever, but I do find it sometimes it hunts a little bit, and it hunts when it wants, but when it does hunt, it snaps onto a target, which is fine. But when I'm using portraits, I always shoot in the 0.5 metered in infinity mode. I never use full, by the way, so if you are shooting portraits, I recommend with the 90mm micro lens or any micro lens, by that, always use the 0.5 to infinity, okay? And I use this mode down here, 0.3 to 0.5. Use that just for micro photography only. So this other things, I use this for sports. I have used this for sports photography once and trying to capture someone, and I did. It worked really well. It captured, but it only worked really well when I was using auto flexible expandable spot on my cameras and following the target, and the autofocus is pretty damn good. Now, contrast levels, on the other hand, on this camera, a little bit too strong for me, in my opinion. Sometimes I could tone it down a little bit, and I'm noticing that, especially on my crop sensor A77 Mark II body. I found that it's given a strong contrast, which I kind of don't like a little bit. I like contrast, don't get me wrong. I love contrast, especially for black and whites. But I just feel like it's just a little bit strong for colors. But color addition is well defined on this lens. I give it a 95, other than a slight little weird color when it comes down to greens. Yeah, I'm pointing to the trees. So I have to fix it, little greens a little bit more, but I turn down the contrast a little bit, but other than that, it's fine. Transmission light that goes to this lens is pretty close to accurate. I really find that it is really good in letting light in, especially if you're not putting it on a lens hood, by the way. So other than that, this is weather seal or moisture resistant and dust resistant, but in my case, I reported this back on my Instagram. If you take a look at my Instagram at ThePandaPhotographer, a couple of months back, I still have the post up there. I reported that I have got dust in my front element, and Tamron reached out to me and told me whenever I need to get my lens fixed, let them know, and they would actually fix it for me. Thank you, Tamron, for actually reaching out to me and let me know that you guys want to fix it for me. I appreciate that, but it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. You see little dust in here, but it still bothers me. How does dust get inside the front element? It's not through the element, it's right in this front element here. I still want to know how did dust just build up inside of there. It hasn't built up inside of the, as I can see. It's been the same since I discovered it, but does it affect my images? No. And when I do touch up on my images, I'm always doing spot removal, so I'm always looking one-to-one and looking further in to make sure that there's no imperfections in my images when I'm doing portraits or doing landscapes. I always do spot removal to remove spots in my images. So as a photographer, you should be doing that to all your photos in the first place. So don't rush to get your photos out on Instagram or out to the world. Take your time and when you take your time with your images come out right, that's when you get the best comments about your imagery. So remember that. But other than that, yes, weather resistant, dust resistant. Tamron contacted me, as I said, reached out to me. But anyway, I did find a couple of things a little bit odd with this micro lens. Now, I have micro lenses in the past before that I never done this before, but when I'm stopping down to like f16, f18, when I'm using my LCD screen on the back of my camera, it won't show me what I'm about to take a picture of. But when I go into my viewfinder, it shows me what I'm about to take a picture of until I press a button on the side here. I forgot what it's called. It's in my head, I just can't recall. This button right here, when I press it, that's when it displays on my screen. And actually, let me demonstrate that for you guys right now, so you guys get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Now, put on 0.5, just put on full. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate it live. So as I stop down my aperture, you see how the screen gets darker? You see how the screen just gets darker and darker? If I press this button, you see what happens? Now you can see what I'm, you see? Do you see that? Do you see that? I'm pressing that exact same button to show me what I'm about to take a picture of. Since, oops, let me put this on single point. And I'm at F29 actually. Let's go down to F22. See, it won't focus. There we go. You see that? It shows me, literally. So that's what I'm talking about. I never had that experience with the micro lens as doing that, and the screen is just totally blacked out. And even when I'm stopping down more, it just gets darker. And then when I press that button, it just shows me what I'm about to take a picture of. See? So it's kind of weird that it does that. But check this out. When I go into UEF, it shows me, but it doesn't want to show me on the display. Not sure if that's a flaw. Not sure if that's an issue that you guys want to take account of. But I have adapted this lens to E-mount. I adapted this lens to an A6300, and holy shit! Sorry for the language. Holy, but woo! Trust me. That Sony adapter works really well. A-mount to E-mount works really damn well on an E-mount. So with that said, and you can see it, I'm using the A77, which is a semi-professional sports and wildlife camera, and it is fast, 12 frames per second. It should, the buffer on here is pretty decent, pretty good. I bust up a lot of shots with this, and I found, and I'm using, by the way, if you guys are wondering, the reason why I get good buffer rate is because I'm using RIP Lexar cards all the time, and you can see 150 megabytes, 64 gigabytes. So, and file sizes when I'm shooting full frames. Okay, so if you guys are curious about when I'm shooting portraits and how I shoot portraits, I always try to fill the frame so I don't crop in post. I don't hate cropping my images. I want my images to utilize all the megapixels as much as possible. And I really want to make sure, and I want to educate this on a lot of people. A lot of people like to crop into the image. I like to actually get my composition and fill the frame each and every time. So when I'm shooting photos, right, I'm always like filling the frame. I said, okay, I don't like that. I want to fill the frame. I want to fill the frame on subjects or models or talent or objects. Always fill the frame each time so I don't crop. So if someone wants me to print that out on a larger scale without any crop, the better it is as you print it. And the more that you crop your image, I feel like you lose megapixel quality, in my opinion. So keep that in mind. I just feel that I lose megapixel quality, and I don't like that. I noticed that in the past when I was making that mistake myself in the past, but I don't do that anymore. So therefore, I recommend it to always fill the frame each time. So therefore, if you like it, make sure to take a picture of it every time. But anyway, Tamron, thank you guys for reaching out to me, but I really want to actually test more of your lenses for A mount. I really want you guys to make more A mount lenses, and the reason why I'm saying that is because you guys got a new lens out. I think it's 18 to 400 or 18 to 300. I really want you guys to try to really make that for the A mount. If you guys can, let me know. I would be the first one to love to test the 18 to 400 or 8. What is it? It's 18 to 400, 18 to 300. I really want to test that lens out. I'm hearing a lot of good things about that lens. I really want to actually utilize the A mount, even though everyone thinks A mount is dead. Sony just announced it that they will still keep working on the A mount system. So therefore, I'm expecting a new maybe A77 Mark III coming out soon. Hopefully, yay, maybe, because the RX10 Mark IV has came out, and people thought they were never going to actually do another one, but then again, they did another one. So that's proved. So with that said, yeah, I really want to actually get my hands on some more Tamron lenses for A mount. So Tamron, the Panda photographer here, would love to get his hands on some lenses to test out. And I'm doing a dog show too. That would be perfect for a dog show. Oh, I'm doing a dog show on the 23rd. Yeah, which is this coming weekend. Okay. And Tamron, if you're watching this, please reach out to me, the Panda Photographer. You have all my information down below in the descriptions. Reach out to me. Let me know what lenses that you can send me ASAP. I have an address that you can send it to, and that are A mount. And other than that, guys, the Tamron 90mm micro lens. Even if you don't have Sony, if you have Nikon, you have Canon. I think they make it for Canon and Nikon. If you have either camera bodies, this is a really good lens. This is another alternative if you don't want to spend the money, but you still get quality, weather sealing, dust resistant, image quality. It works for APS-C. It works for full frame. It's really a phenomenal lens. And look at the body design too. It's like, and it feels really nice. It's not front heavy either. So not front heavy at all. You know, it's pretty good in the hand. So with that said, guys, thank you for watching. See, it's not front heavy. It's more back heavy than front heavy. So which is like, and this lens is very light, by the way. It's not heavy like the Sony FE 90mm micro lenses or the yeah, it's not heavy. But with that said, guys, thank you for watching. This is my 10-month long experience with this lens. I will be sending it back to get the dust removed from the front element, but as of right now, it doesn't bother me at all. Like I said, I always do spot removal on all my images, so therefore before I post anything up, I've touched it up and fixed it. But with that said, guys, thank you for watching. Please support this channel. I really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to save money up for a new laptop. Please hit the links down below. The PayPal link is down there below. I'm trying to save up for a used laptop. This guy here in San Jose East of San Jose trying to sell me an Alienware laptop for $600 with good specs. So I'm trying to get my hands on that one because I really need a new laptop to continue on my work. But with that said, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification button. Follow me at 616 Studios on Twitter. Follow me at 616 Studios Photography on Facebook. And you can follow me on Instagram at ThePandaPhotographer or down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. And